Hi everyone! It's me, Peter of GizGuide.com, and today we have yung pinakabagong smartphone ni Tecno dito sa Pilipinas. It is a budget phone. This is the Spark 30. The Tecno Spark 30 is obviously, as you can see here, in collaboration with Transformers and yung box ko, Bumblebee theme. Kasi yung telepono na we will be checking today is also a Bumblebee themed smartphone. Ayan, eto siya. This one retails for 6,999 pesos. Without any further ado, silipin na natin kung ano bang meron tong teleponong ito. Let's watch. Pakita lang natin saglit yung box. Ayun, very Transformers, di ba? So obviously, lalagay niya lang kung ano yung mga features ng telepono here. Yan, yan. And ito sa likaran niya, yung key specs. IP64 din pala to, So, ayan, this is the box. Pag binuksan mo siya, ito yung cool part to. Very unique. Obviously, na-unbox ko na yung phone. Kaya nandiyan siya sa labas. And ginagamit ko na yan. Ayun, gusto ko lang pakita to. And pag binuksan mo to, look at that. Diba? Effort Effort sa packaging. Very Transformers. A Tecno/Transformers. And ito, may case siya. And of course, yung warranty card ni Tecno. Ito yung case. Sana lang mas ginandaan pa yung case. But this is a budget smartphone, so I'm not really complaining too much. At least may case siya. Sa iba, wala na yan. So, may brick siya. Charger. 18 watts. Paper documents. Tabi nyo lang. Obviously, meron din silang Type-C cable. The USB Type-A yung connector. May SIM ejector tool din. For the materials used, sakto lang. It is made with mostly polycarbonate material. Plastic yung likod. And no mention if may glass protection sa harapan. Although, meron naman siyang pre-installed screen protector. So, that is a plus. And it feels generally nice to hold naman. Pero sabi ni Tecno, even if budget phone siya, it will be a durable one. Actually, marami silang internal testing na pinagagawa dito to ensure yung durability niya. Like mga drop test, water splash test, etc. etc. Speaking of water resistance, meron siyang IP64 rating. So medyo mataas yun for a budget phone. Usually makikita mo yung IP64 sa mga mid-range. Like yung mga 10,000, 12,000 pataas. But this one, even if mas mura siya, meron siyang ganong rating. And ano ba ibig sabihin nun? May total protection siya against dust ingress. And kaya niya mag-survive ng mga water splashes. Kahit mabuhos-buhusan to ng tubig, kape, etc. etc. It won't be getting any water damage. Pero syempre, ang highlight ng teleponong ito is the design. Bumblebee. May Transformers logo, reminiscent nung car ni Bumblebee na yellow and black yung theme. Ganda ng finish in fairness. Diba? Kung fan ka talaga ng Transformers, I think ma-appreciate mo talaga to. I think pwede pa nga ito gawing collectible kasi this is an official merchandise, diba? So, depende na lang sa tao yon kung paano nila gusto gamitin tong phone na to. Either they will use it as an everyday phone or ilagay lang nila sa box, diba? And let's see if tataas yung value niya over time. I don't know. Aside sa Transformer theme nung telepono, gusto ko rin na medyo boxy yung kanyang design. Kasi madali siyang hawakan. Wala siyang sharp edges. Very refined yung pagkakagawa sa kanya, even if it is a budget phone. Sa taas, meron pa nga itong Dolby Atmos logo. Stereo speaker siya, by the way, 1, 2. Meron pa siyang 3.5mm headphone jack. Meron siyang single microphone here. Ito yung SIM ejector tray niya, pinakita natin kanina, triple slot siya. So, may dedicated na micro SD card slot. And here, ito yung fingerprint scanner, up and down keys. Diba? But of course, if gagamitin mo siya as an everyday smartphone, syempre ayaw mo naman magasgas yung design nito, diba? So, I will just slap the case on and ensure that it is protected from unwanted dents, scratches, and etc. Moving sa display, yan, malaki talaga siya. Diba? Meron siyang top center punch hole dito. And yung shin bezel is a little thicker, pero immersive looking pa rin naman siya overall, especially for a budget phone. Ang gusto ko dito is 1080p na yung ginamit nilang resolution for its LCD panel. So, crisp pa rin yung kanyang mga icons. Maganda yung picture quality overall, medyo balanced siya looking. Kulang na lang konti sa blacks kasi hindi naman to AMOLED. But I really don't mind kasi this is a budget smartphone. Aside from that, 90Hz refresh rate pa siya. So as you can see, medyo smooth yung animations niya. And sa mga supported games, pwede pang makatulong yon with your overall gameplay. Another thing that I like here is up to 800 nits yung kanyang max brightness. So here sa home studio kuno ko dito sa bahay, nakatodo yung dalawang 150 watts na ilaw ko pero So, as you can see, very okay pa rin siya. Readable pa rin, viewable pa rin, and hindi siya super reflective even if it is not a matte display. And sa display settings niya, I like na meron siyang auto switch refresh rate. So basically, pag hindi mo naman kailangan mag 90Hz, bababa niya automatically to 60Hz yung refresh rate para mas makatipid sa battery life. So pag nag-test kayo tapos hindi nyo nakita na 90Hz agad yung max refresh rate niya, huwag kayong mag-worry kasi pwede mo siyang i-force, di ba? But here, mas gusto ko yung naka-auto switch kasi not all the time you need that high refresh rate. Sinubukan ko siya for watching yung mga popular and very colorful music videos ngayon, and I think most people will enjoy this even if it is not AMOLED kasi maganda naman yung color reproduction niya, di ba? Kaya no? Kahit yung blacks and pinks ng music video, nakita naman na maayos. And I think this will be enough for most users, lalo na yung mga nagtitipid. I'm not complaining. It's not perfect, but I'm not complaining. This is a pretty decent display, especially for its price tag. To those who are wondering, stereo speakers na rin itong teleponong to. So meron siyang speaker sa taas, and meron din siyang speaker sa ilalim. So basically, malakas yung tunog niya, but don't expect this to be as good as yung mga mas high-end sa kanya. Pero at this price point, I would like to appreciate na meron na siyang ganitong feature. And then, pwede siyang maging super loud. It has up to 300% volume. And you only use that if you really need to have an output na malakas talaga. If kita sa cameras ninyo, meron din siyang Dolby Atmos branding. So basically, si Dolby Atmos, it creates an artificial soundstage na parang 3D-like. So here, meron siyang mga options for intelligent, yung automatic, na i-detect niya kung anong scenario, movies, games, and music. And if naka-headphones ka, which I recommend kasi mas ma-enjoy mo yung Dolby Atmos experience on headphones, pwede rin siya. Sa experience ko, hindi naman basag yung tunog niya up to around 70% loudness. But beyond that, pag nilaksan mo pa siya ng todo, let's say mga 80 to 100%, may konting distortion siya. At 300% max loudness, of course, medyo may mga annoying peaks na yun. Pero ganun talaga, mura tong phone na to and okay na yun. At least, malakas talaga siya and pwedeng makatulong if gusto mo makarinig ng malakas na sounds at this price point.
Okay, sige, try natin. Mic test 1, 2, 3. Mic test 1, 2, 3. So, possible na ganito yung marinig nung tinatawagan mo. Ito yung sample ng kanyang microphones.
Single microphone lang siya here, but based sa narinig natin kanina, decent yun especially considering that this is an affordable smartphone. Okay na yun for calls. Sa likuran, it is using a dual camera setup. Yung primary camera niya is a 64 megapixels Sony IMX682 sensor. So, yung sensor na yon was previously found on mid-range phones. Pero ngayon, nasa entry-level na siya, and that is nice. But yung isa niyang sensor is unspecified. I'm suspecting na this is for depth sensing, diba? Para maka-help sa kanyang primary shooter when it comes to taking portrait snaps. Yung camera sa taas, this one, I think design lang yan. And here, it has 4 LED flashes. So, pwedeng makatulong yon sa pagtitake ng photos, especially in the dark. Ito yung quick view ng kanyang camera interface. First is the AIGC portrait. So, basically, to cut the long story short, ganito yung ginagawa niyan. Mga AI portraits with special effects. Diba? Stick tingnan. So, depende sa inyo if you want that or not. And then it has videos. So, it can shoot HDR video up to 1080p 30fps. Pero pag i-off mo yung HDR, pwede ka rin mag 2K 30fps video. And then meron din siyang bokeh or parang portrait, but it is limited to only 720p. And I think parang may crop ng konti. And then after that, you get the AI camera. The AI camera basically has scene detection, so mag-a-adjust siya automatically depending on the scenario. So for example, pag against the light, ibuboost niya yung kanyang colors and yung kanyang exposure para mas maging brighter yung image automatically. Then you get the portrait mode. Here, again, meron siyang bokeh. So f2.8, f1.0 hanggang f16. So depende sa inyo, mas mababa yung aperture, mas blur yung background. But note lang na artificial to, so don't expect too much. So aside sa bokeh, pwede mo pang i-adjust yung shape ng katawan mo or head mo here. Diba? Pwede mong lagyan ng mga effects para ma-enhance yung katawan mo. And here, meron siyang AI Smart Beauty effect that can smoothen your skin tone, make your face slimmer. Ito, marami siya iba-ibang effects that you can try. So, depende na lang talaga sa trip mo yon. And then, of course, meron siyang night mode. This is very useful, especially if mag-take ka ng mga non-moving objects in the dark. Kasi mapapalitaw niya talaga yung highlights and ma-enhance niya yung colors. Meron din siyang dual video, short video. May pro mode. May slow motion din. Okay, you can adjust yung shutter speed up to 30 seconds. So, I think, pwede pa nga ito even sa medyo konting stars photography. So, So, kailangan mo na lang mag-take ng mga ganong images sa madilim talagang lugar na walang light pollution and make sure na naka-tripod ka. And at least, ayan, marami siyang features. Marami siyang features that you can use. May panorama pa, and may time-lapse of course, and meron din siyang vlog mode. Yung vlog mode niya, may mga effects. So, automatic na. May mga text pa. So, mas mapapadali talaga yung buhay mo if you will try to maximize yung features ng kanyang cameras. When it comes sa picture quality, it did okay sa daylight. Maganda naman yung kanyang colors. Medyo bitin ng konti sa highlights and sana mas okay yung kanyang dynamic range. But this is an entry-level smartphone and this is arguably one of the better cameras that you will find at this price point. For indoor shot, as long as okay naman yung lighting, decent din yung mga makukuha mong snaps. Kahit mag-portrait mode ka pa, actually, sa portrait mode, ang issue ko lang is minsan nabablur niya yung mga hindi naman dapat i-blur. But that is common sa smartphones at this price point. Tansyahan lang talaga. Minsan makakuha ka ng maganda, minsan medyo sablay. I like din pala na meron siyang up to 2x lossless zoom. So here, kahit nag-zoom ako ng 2x, halos same yung detail sa 1x mode niya. Here, even if indoor shot to, hindi nabawasan masyado yung details, hindi rin kita yung grain masyado. This is not bad. Sa mga medyo mas madilim na scenarios naman, kailangan mong mas maging patient when it comes to taking images. Kasi mas magiging mabagal yung kanyang focus speed and mas may chance na magkaroon ka ng shots na softer yung details. But if nakuha mo siya, you will be pleased with the result naman. Sa low light naman, hindi ko siya gagamitin pag moving yung subject kasi mas mahihirapan talaga yung focus ng smartphone na to. And even if non-moving siya, makikita niyo may loss of details talaga, mas soft siya and mas kita yung grain. Kaya mo kailangan gamitin yung night mode. Pero pag nag-night mode ka na, maganda na yung result. Hindi siya cartoonish and hindi rin siya sobrang liwanag na parang nagmumukha ng fake yung night shots mo. May konti pa rin grain pero mas sharp na siya ngayon and boosted pa yung colors. For me, basta magamit mo ng maayos yung night mode, steady yung kamay mo, social media ready na siya eh. Actually, pwede pa itong maka-impress ng mga ibang smartphone users. Baka akalain pa nilang you took this using a more expensive camera phone. Sa selfies, it is not bad although merong konting softening. Mas pinaputi rin niya ako than usual here. But what I like here is yung kanyang portrait mode. Decent siya kahit single camera lang siya sa harapan. Ayun lang, medyo iwasan ko lang siyang gamitin for selfies in the dark kasi medyo grainy talaga and mababawasan yung quality. But meron naman siyang soft LED flash that could help compensate for the lack of light. So kahit paano, mas magiging decent na yung mga low light selfies mo. For videos, acceptable naman at this price point yung mga output na nakuha ko using its 2K resolution mode. But of course, it will be shaky. So ang advice ko is sana mas stable yung kamay mo or meron kang tripod or meron kang gimbal para mas stabilize yung shot. Sa performance, good enough na to for most of the casual users. Okay na siya for Facebook and even if mag-TikTok ka, kaya niya nang show ng mga clips with minimal lag. And even if mag-multitask ka, kahit medyo maraming apps na naka-open at the same time, medyo kaya naman niya kasi nga 8 gigs of RAM na to and you can even expand it virtually using its internal storage. Even if mag-edit ka ng mga videos na 1080p or mga photos that you took or yung mga dinownload mong images, kaya naman ng phone na to. Yung issue ko here is the chipset of choice ni Tecno is not the most capable for the price. I've seen them do better at this price point before. Actually, even yung mga previous releases nila, mas mabilis sa Helio G91 na gamit ito ngayon. Example is this Spark 20 Pro. I think naka Helio G99 na yun. And naka-sale yun ngayon for around the same price of this one. So, mas mabilis yung phone na yun kaysa dito. I love Tecno but medyo missed opportunity siya for me kasi sayang yung design ng teleponong ito. Very pang gamer yung Transformers Edition. So, sana ginamit na lang nila even if medyo old na yung Helio G99. Mas capable pa rin yun kaysa sa Helio G91 ni MediaTek. To cut the long story short, so pag magi-games ka here, don't expect it to run yung mga games on high settings. Actually, even medium settings ng mga mas demanding na games, mas mag-struggle dito. I advise you to use yung default settings ng games na nalaro mo. For example, sa Mobile Legends, default settings ka na lang. And lalo na if magi-Genshin Impact ka, low settings lahat yun. Thankfully, okay yung thermals ng phone. Hindi siya basta-basta umiinit. Actually, never pa siya naging hot in my experience. It gets a little warm pag naglalaro ka or napakaraming background apps yung running. Pero hindi siya alarmingly hot. Sa connectivity, never naman ako nagkaroon ng issue. Actually, pag may problema, likely si Telco na yon. Okay din yung wifi niya. Malakas naman yung signal dito sa bahay namin. Although kasi naka-mesh naman kami all over. Although kahit medyo lumabas ako ng konti ng house, may nasasaga pa rin siyang 2 to 3 bars. So, that's not bad. Sa battery, standard 5,000 milliamperes up to 2 days on a single charge. If medyo heavy user ka, at the end of the day, may matitira siguro sa yung mga around 20 to 30% depende on your usage. Based on my experience, it is as good as advertised. Kaya talaga niyang tumagal ng up to 2 days on a single charge as a secondary smartphone. Ginagamit ko to usually for social media, taking photos, taking a bit of calls, and doing a lot of messaging. Pati pang browse na rin sa internet at the same time. Sa charging, up to 18 watts yung supported nung power brick niya. And based on my experience, 0 to 60% around 1 hour. Wait, may papakita ko. Ito. Yan. Ayan. Sa charging, meron siyang animation sa taas. Ayan. Parang Apple Dynamic Island sa kanyang camera hole, di ba? So basically, it shows na supported yung fast charging nitong cable na ginamit ko and nag-charge talaga siya. So, ayun, sa experience ko, kaya nitong mag-charge from 0 to 100% in 2 hours and 15 minutes. By the way, okay naman yung fingerprint sensor niya. Never had an issue with it. It works. And even if medyo basa ng konti yung kamay mo, gagana siya. Meron din pala siyang remote control mode. So you can use this to control your TV, your aircon, or any other home appliances na merong IR. Overall, this smartphone is a joy to hold, especially if Transformers fan ka, lalo na if Bumblebee fan ka. Kasi look at the design, napaka-Transformers niya talaga. And it will really remind you of Bumblebee. So if huge fan ka ng Transformers and collector ka, malamang baka nabili mo na to before I uploaded this video. As a smartphone, for me, it is decent for the price. Kung casual user ka, okay naman yung camera niya, maganda naman yung mga snaps na nakuha ko. Yung display niya, 120Hz. So it is a pretty good type of display, especially at this price point. 1080p pa, hindi tinipid yung kanyang screen resolution. Yung issue ko is, yung gaya nga nasabi ko kanina, is the speed ng kanyang chipset. It is not the fastest for the price. And if value for money yung hinahanap mo, I will only recommend this if you can get it sa kanyang sale price. But if you will be getting it sa kanyang regular SRP na 6,999, siguro magdadagdag na lang ako ng 1K pa, mas makakuha ako ng better Tecno smartphones. Kasi sulit talaga yung mga Tecno phones di ba? So ayun, overall, wala naman akong halos issue dito. And this is a pretty interesting smartphone at this price point. If you want to purchase this one, check nyo yung description box namin and I will be putting all the links there. Again, this is Peter of GizGuide.com. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Tecno Spark 30 Transformers Edition. Like and subscribe to our channel and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!